Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Johnny Cassell, and today I've got my dear friend and colleague, Mr. Adrian, the approach
How you
coach,
doing?
the approach machine. So today is a special video because I thought I'd bring Adrian on, who's been working for me. How long have you been working for us now?
I'd say it's coming up to about 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah,
Yeah. So what I want to get out of this time together is for the audience to learn a bit about what you've been doing, on in with helping the guys we work with, a bit about your approach, what you specialize in. But first of all, let's take it way back from the beginning. Like we say 5 years ago, but that wasn't where we initially met, right?
Oh, we've known. Yeah. We've been working together for about 5 years. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've known you. I'd say probably about 15 years, and that was
yeah,
when we done the Three Peaks, insane, and we done that all. So Three Peaks are the biggest mountains in the UK,
yeah,
and that was all within 24 hours. So I met you, a friend of a friend.
yeah. Stupid me heard about this task, and I was like, yeah, I'm up for it. Did
Yeah,
zero training,
yeah,
but
yeah,
got all the gear, so I looked the part
yeah,
in the
yeah,
pictures and the
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Oh Jesus, that was
Yeah. Everyone was
experience.
they were dropping like flies, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was nuts.
yeah,
But what I like about what you do is like you always set yourself like a fitness challenge every year. Like you're
yeah,
always testing yourself,
yeah,
and I really think that's a positive thing to sort of pass on to the clients as well. Your
yeah,
psychology and just that internal resistance that we all face.
yeah. I think it's important. Once a year, this is my opinion. Once a year, you should challenge yourself to the max mentally and physically,
Hmm.
right? So I've done Land's End to John O'Groats cycling, and I've done that in November, and that was very challenging with the English weather,
Mm.
and I pushed myself through that, right? So I've conquered that side of things. This year, in fact, in a month's time, I'm cycling. I'm getting a ferry across to France. Going to stay in Dunkirk, where we lost the battle, won the war. Then going to go to Bruges, then head to Rotterdam, and then to Amsterdam. One of those days, 100 miles cycling. So I'm doing
Wow.
that by myself.
Just fix your mic a second. It needs to be pointing towards you.
Like that? I haven't said that, Mags. Is that cool?
That's good. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you're always doing something.
Yeah.
Like, what are the top three things you said that have really tested you the most?
It's got to be Land's End to John O'Groats.
That was what, cycling?
Yeah, that was cycling.
Yeah.
I've gone. I used to have a holiday around Europe and then book up a marathon. I'm on now 7 marathons that I've done.
7 marathons.
Seven marathons. See, for me, I'm not a marathon runner. I'm more of a half marathon runner. Where I've hit 1:33. It was my quickest. My quickest 5K that I've done. I've done that. Well, park run. Done that in 1936. So I tend to be the top 20% of anything that I do sport wise.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's my passion. I love it.
Mm. Well, it's great to be able to take that sort of level of psychology and kind of pour that in with the sort of people we work with in this arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so your background is training, right? Is coaching, it's training. Like
Yeah.
when we met, you still do. You help people with their fitness goals, all that kind of stuff. So just tell us a little bit how we've spoke about there how we met through the Three Peak Challenge. How did you get the job? How are you now seated around the table here and been here for 5 years helping the guys?
So I was in a long relationship when I met you, and I was in a relationship for 9 years. I was also engaged at that point, and that didn't work out. And at that point, I was like, damn, I've got to start again. And I had to build my confidence and learn back what I did. And it took a while. And there was a lot of stumbling points that I had to have at that point. but I plugged away and I put in the time in that period. And then after time, I started getting good results. And it was at that point that I started getting good results. And it didn't happen overnight. It took me quite a while to get my feet up and running. That's why I gave you the ding dong.
You've been seeing what I've been doing over the years, obviously.
Yeah, I was watching the whole time. I was very intrigued. I mean, I worked for another company before that, and you know that's what I'd done at that point, and I was massively into the industry, hugely, because it helped me out. You know, I couldn't even leave a restaurant with a napkin. I couldn't pull that. I was bad. Yeah, so I had to learn. And I've done courses. I've paid my own money to do these courses, and that has helped me get to where I am today. You know, I think people look at theory too much. Yeah, have a certain amount of theory, but real world is out there. Find out and get in, and you're gonna learn a lot more. You know, David Beckham didn't get as good as what he did by thinking about kicking a ball. Yeah, he done that by being out and there in the field.
So, but do you remember the day that we met and I was like, okay, all right, if you want to work, you gotta pull a stunt right in front of me.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I knew something was going to come, and then you were like, okay, show me.
On the spot.
yeah, show me how to do it. And I was like, okay, which one then? And you're like, that one. And I was like, cool. Yeah. I said cool, but then like, you know, my heart started going like dong 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 dong. But yeah, I went in there. I proved it to you that I could do it.
Yeah.
Proof was in the pudding.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that. You took me out with a student and you said, okay, Adrian, show me what to do here. What would you do here? And there was those elements, because there's one thing knowing what to do, there's another thing teaching what you can do. Yeah. And I do believe this 100% is that I used to have a friend, a Greek friend, right? And he was absolutely, I say was because I'm not in contact with him anymore, but absolutely amazing. Yeah. I would go out with him, and then within 5 minutes, he's made eye contact with the girl. He's built attraction in that time. And the problem was, he was a natural, but he couldn't teach me what he learned. He used to say, Adrian, all you do is just go up to her, start speaking to her.
Yeah. And that's helpful.
It didn't help me out. And I always remember when we used to be lifeguards together. And on the Sunday, we'll be lifeguarding and we'll have a hangover. And he will be messaging all these girls. Yeah, obviously I'm watching the kids swimming and everything while he's messaging at that point. And then he will go to me, Adrian, how many numbers did you get? Yeah. And now I might have got 2 or whatever, but they never led anywhere. But I couldn't say that. I had to say face. So I'd say, yeah, I'm messaging one girl, but really it was my mum. I was messaging my mum. I was like, Mum, what have we got for food later on? Yeah, just won't let him see it. But that's what I mean. He couldn't break it down.
Yeah.
But he was one of the first people to show me the possibility. You know, I heard that of other people, and then that's what put me on that path.
So yeah, you've been working the team for 5 years. What do you feel people have struggled the most with? Like the people you work with, you know, we work with a lot of people. What do you think are the recurring issues that people are facing?
I think it's knowing the first point is the approach anxiety, you know, and we're not beyond it. I still get it. Yeah. But it's knowing how, so it's that feeling you feel inside, and then it's butterflies, but knowing to have those butterflies heading in the direction you want. Yeah. And for a lot of people, for the students, that's the first step that holds them back. Yeah. and they think too far ahead in the steps. Yeah. So what we teach is like the first point, and then the second point, yeah, which is how to talk to them, yeah, how to talk to girls. And what's also important is that there's one thing having a conversation back and forth, but how to build connection, yeah, how to build attraction instead of the friend zone of comfort that leads to not where we want to go.
Yeah, yeah. Building the rapport, building the comfort, for making them feel safer to progress it further.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people they run out of things to say so easily. So giving them a bit of a structure and direction is really, really helpful. Do you feel like there's any moments in working with the clients that have really stood out the most? You know, where they've had those epiphany moments, or just the result that you've seen them achieve?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's been many. There's countless. But if I pick out, one definitely stands out is when we worked with LGBT, and you know, he said that he can meet someone for that one thing, but to have that person that he wants to long term for the rest of his life, he struggles, right?
I remember the guy who, I mean, hookup culture was just, you know, it was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, struggled for someone to emotionally invest in him.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was fine when it was just someone having a chit chat, but if it was someone that he liked, that was where he was just stuck, right? And I remember we were going around Soho, and there was someone that he liked called Brian, and he told me it was with leg. He goes, yeah, I like him. Brian, I like him. I said, you should go in there. You should go and speak to him. You know, like, and then talk him through the process and everything. And anyway, he wouldn't for anything.
Just had some resistance.
He had a lot of resistance. But the thing is, it's one of those things, when you decide to do a skydive, so to speak, the decision to do the skydive was at the beginning when you paid the money, right? Not the point when you're at the top of the plane deciding then to jump or not. So I knew that. It just so happened Brian left where he was, and I could see him crossing the road. And I said to him, I said, Mr. V, I said, come on, you could do it, da, da, da. And he was going to bottle it, and I couldn't have that because he's paying for a service, right? So the best thing I could think was, I went old school, yeah. And the old school is, oh, Brian, like this. And Brian looked around, and I said, Mr. V, come now, yeah. So I pulled him over there, and I said, Brian, this is V, yeah, and V likes you, yeah,
Really,
and you two need to speak, yeah.
Friend referral.
Yeah, that's
strategy.
it. And then you know, like back at school, it'd be like, he likes her, and
And you stand on the other side of the playground.
Yeah. And it's kind of cute. Even as an adult, you could go and do that. And I've done that, and it was cool. Yeah. He walked away with the number happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that one stands out. That one. I remember Mr. S. Obviously, I'm using not their real name, but there was Mr. S. And he'd done a 7-day program, which is 5 hours day game, 5 hours at night, teaching the fundamentals of how to build attraction. Yeah, but not running out of what to say. Yeah, getting over the anxiety. But the most important is being out there, speaking to real people, not in the classroom, out there, real fields out there, like I told you about the analogy with David Beckham, yeah? So we went to Accra, and me and him just absolutely killed it, yeah? And his words, when we came out, he said, Adrian, he said, that was amazing. He goes, I felt like a pimp, yeah? And he was so happy that he already done the 7-day program. The months later, he went and booked up again, yeah, to go and do another session of day and night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a lot to be said with just having that person there giving you that encouragement, you know, and support. A lot of it just is that, and they push through, and then they get to experience something. You know, what is it for you that you feel like you've learned over this 5 years working within the team? Like whether it be the process, whether it be what have you learned about yourself as well?
The thing about it, like to bring it back to my friend Ali, you see, he couldn't break it down. Yeah, I can break it down because I wasn't a natural. Yeah, I had to learn things from the bottom up. Yeah, and for me going through those process, know that, like I said, I've invested in myself, I've done courses, right, and I'm very relatable. I remember what they're going through at this present moment. I've been there, and I know how that feels, and I knew how to break through those barriers. And so I know real life scenarios on how to break down those barriers and what works for me. Yeah, and what works for me, I'm not saying 100% what I do is correct. Yeah, because it might not work for the next one, but the chunk of what I will tell them will work. Yeah, and it's field tested as well. I've been out there, I've done it, and that's the progression, and proofs in the pudding on when we see students at the end of it, the testimonials that we get.
I mean, there's times where we've had clients that just broke down in the middle of the week or the end of the week and just in tears, right?
Yeah.
And because they're just realizing, crap, how much of my life have I not known this stuff?
100%.
I mean, fortunately, they're at a age still where they've now got the skill and they're able to utilize this. Not just necessarily in the dating world, but like in any way that they want, right?
Yeah.
It's people skills at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like to experience when you see these guys and they're getting a bit emotional?
Yeah, I mean, I had that on my last student, and I was taken back. I get it. I was taken back when it happened because I thought there was just something in his eye, and he did. He broke down with him, saying that he's lived his life up to this point, and he wished he'd done it sooner. Yeah, and what comes to mind with me is everyone's seen The Matrix, and if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it, right? And how they talk about the pill, which pill to take. You could take the blue pill now, yeah, just like your ring that you have at the moment, and you live your life how you're living at the moment, yeah. And it's like the same. If you've done the same thing you've always done, you're going to get the same result, yeah. That would be kind of like a fly that's trying to get out here now, but keeps hitting the window, yeah. Or we all have choices, yeah. It's a free world that you can have the red pill, and Morpheus said on there, and I will show you Wonderland, and I'll show you how
the
far
rabbit hole goes.
how far the rabbit hole goes. And they decided to do that, and they're learning that Wonderland, yeah, of possibility, and seeing it firsthand of how to do it, so they can do it.
I mean, what would you say for people that are thinking about doing this and just been? I mean, you must have gone through a stage of your learning development, just watching too much videos, watching
100%.
too much blog, reading every bloody book. I mean, what can you say speaking into that?
90% of your results is out there. 10% is the inner stuff. And I made the mistake. I would, because it's kind of like this, yeah. It's kind of like I've got a friend, and he had a gym membership, a very expensive gym membership, and his upstairs where he lived, it was like a gym, and it was like the best equipment, right? Yet he could tell you everything about what is the best form of training, yeah. Only he never used that equipment, never went to the gym. In fact, he went once in a year, right? But he would tell you all the lingo of everything you need to do. But he didn't do it, and it showed in his physique as well, because his belly was out here, looked like Homer Simpson, right? But he could tell you everything. And this is what I always say is that whenever you get advice, make sure who you're getting advice of, because free advice tends to be for free because it's not that great, because it's for free, yeah. And I always say to myself, do this person who's giving me advice, do they have what I want, or have they achieved it? Yeah. Then for me, I have selective ears. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Yeah. And that's for a reason. We should be listening more, right? But back to your question is that if fast tracking your results is we can make more money, but we can't have more time. Yeah. So instead of being that fly, keep banging against that window, right? Find someone who's learned how to open that window so that fly can get out. Makes sense? That philosophy is people that have achieved what you want. Yeah. And then I've done out of investing in myself, and it was the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I recently experienced that with a client on the Impactful Connection workshop. He's turned up and he's got like all these theories, and I just had to, like, he was going on and on and on about this, and I was like, "Are you thinking about this stuff a lot?" And he's like, "Yeah." I go, "I think it's time to just stop, man. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to sit down on a date and talk about some fucking mouse theory about like about like some utopian like fear? Like, no one gives a fuck. You know what? People give a fuck, having a good time.
Yeah.
And he thanked me for that. He's like, "Yeah, no, I know I do that." So, a lot of people, it's like anyone that has these like jobs that require you to be analytical, being too much in your head, theoreticizing, you're missing the opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Like, how many more books have you got to read? How many more motivational videos or quotes have you got to write down until you take action?
Yeah.
Go out there with some friends, or go and say hi to a few people today. You're still fighting resistance, come on the workshop.
Yeah. I made that mistake, and I wish I didn't. And if I could turn back the hands of time, I would have changed that. So that's my advice to you guys.
Yeah, just get it done. I mean, like, I always look at it like this. If you calculate how many summers you've got left in your lifetime, or whatever season you feel like you get the most opportunity, how many of them have you got left? You're going to waste another year? You're going to waste another summer? You're going to waste another festival? Like,
I agree with that, man. It's like I've done Anthony Robbins' seminar, and I've read all these books, got all these audio, and one of the key things I learned from him is that human beings are motivated by 2 factors, which is the pleasure of getting something, or the pain of regret, or whatever you you should but you don't. Yeah. And this really helped me, actually, is learning which one motivates you. Yeah. Now, strangely, you would think that the gain of pleasure of getting what I want would motivate me, but actually it's the pain. The pain motivates me to move forward. The pain of, if I don't do this, then I'm just going to stay in the same state that I don't like that state at the moment. And that's what gives me a kick up the arse to go and do it. So I use a lot of pain. I leverage a lot of pain to get my arse in gear. And I do that I love my fin. But do you think I wake up some mornings I wake up and it's raining, it's hell outside, right? Or it's snowing and it's cold, it's butt cold, right? And do you think on a Sunday when I've worked the whole week that I've got to wake up early, that I'm saying, let's go? No, sometimes I'm saying that, and being aware of your own inner voice, your own life coach, but those voices in your head is saying, "No, you stay in bed.
Oh yeah,
you do this." And then what I do is I'm just like, "No," and then I get up. Yeah,
it's the discipline.
Yeah, because I know those voices can set you in the wrong path. So I listen to those voices and I'm like, no, because I say to myself, if you don't, you're going to feel guilty all day. And now use that pain. So knowing that pain and pleasure really helps.
That's what I say to the clients. I go, well, what is the consequence of not taking action? Laying in bed and becoming a fatso, or if it comes to approaching someone you like, watching someone else do it. And that watching someone else do it is more painful than you doing it and maybe getting a no.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we spoke about quite a few things, and I'm glad that we put this video together because I wanted to give the audience an opportunity to meet the team members. So it's important to come along. Yeah, any words of encouragement you think for people just sitting there that have been just sitting there watching videos, reading books and stuff? Like any final words?
I have got final words, and I would say this, right? This cloth here, yeah, this looks like a standard.
Where have you got this
cloth.
from?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Adrian with his magic tricks.
Yeah, it's
He's
my
known to
magic
have a
tricks.
few- do a few
Yeah.
magic
I
tricks on the
I
website.
know plenty of magic, but this one's still my classic magic trick, right?
Yeah.
So this solid piece of magic, right? And with this, how can I make that disappear? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I take this, which is very solid, yeah, and I do this. Okay, what's the magic word?
Ace of Hearts.
Okay, Ace of Hearts. Abracadabra. Yeah? Boom. Yeah? Now, what it is,
That's good.
okay?
That's good.
Now, normally what I would do is I'll be with the girl and I might go, here, it's in your hair, and then I'll pull it out. Yeah? And I'll go, oh, look, so this is the girl. Here goes Sarah. And I got it, yeah? But the thing is, the reason I show this, yeah, because it's a physical demonstration of magic. But is it actually magic, or is there something that they know that becomes magic? Yeah. And it's the same as doing a 7-day program or the 1-day program with us, is that it looks like magic, yeah, but when you break it down, it is magic once you know how to do it, and it is possible for everyone, and it's about learning it. That when you learn how to do it by doing the coaching, everything becomes possible. Yeah, you see this, and then when you slow it down, there's the fun. Yeah, and then
how did I not see that?
Yeah, you don't. No one sees it. Yeah, but the thing is, I actually do this when I go out. I have this. Yeah, it's like a little prop. Just because it's so bloody funny. It's so old school and funny, right? And do you know what you said? Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
lead with fun. Yeah. It's like the song is girls just want to have fun. Well, this is just funny. It's fun. It's funny. Yeah. But the point of this is that this is the breakdown that we teach how to have the magic. Yeah. And I'll leave it on this last point here as I leave my thumb just here. Yeah. And it's this, the Roger Bannister. Now, I love Roger Bannister because I come from Harrow, and Roger Bannister, came from Harrow. And Roger Bannister, in 1953, he was the first person to go and run under a 4-minute mile. Yeah, no one done that beforehand, and no one thought it was possible. Yeah, just as no one has achieved a marathon in under 2 hours. Yeah, it's possible. No one's achieved it yet. Yeah, we're very close to getting that. But back to Roger Bannister, he ran under 4 minutes. No one done it beforehand. No one thought it was possible. Yeah. To this day, yeah, and you can Google this, the 1,730 people have achieved that. Yeah. But beforehand, it was like they thought it wasn't humanly possible. Now, the point of this is that you might think that this training works, but maybe not for you. Well, it does, because we've had all types of people that we've helped achieve it. And if you put aside yes, there's a cost financially, but what is the cost away from the finance? It's time. And we can make more money, but we can't have more time. And that's what I would say in closing.
Yeah. The cost of not doing is a lot higher than what you'll be investing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good, man. That's, I love the. Excellent. All right, guys. So yeah, if you're interested in leveling up your life, head on over to the website johnnycassell.com. Check out the offerings. Check out the programs. We've been doing this a long time. We're not going anywhere. You know, I mean, 16 years doing this stuff. So if you're looking for a trusted area, trusted space, you've just landed on it. But until next time, stay tuned on the channel. I'll be bringing you plenty more goodies soon. All right, guys.
I'm going to give you the thumbs up and a third thumbs up. Thank you for your time.
Nice one, dude.
Cheers, man.
Cool.